Hey guys, what's up? Charles Float here and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through what are, in my opinion, the 14 best digital income streams that you can access as either a beginner or someone that has access to capital. So without any further ado, let's just jump into things. So I just have two things to say before we actually jump into the video. This isn't a usual video of mine. Normally, I just put out purely SEO and digital marketing kind of content. I am an SEO by trade. That is what I've been doing for over a decade. So if you are wanting to subscribe, make sure that you are subscribing with the intentions of knowing that most of my videos are going to be about SEO and marketing. These kind of videos are a rarity. And the second thing that I had to say are people are going to disagree with me with this video. This is about my experience, my research, my analysis, and what I find and what I've found success with. It's totally okay with people disagreeing with me. There are going to be people that are going to be fanboying over certain things as well, such as crypto. And so I will be making sure that I have got all of my facts as clear as possible. This is not financial advice. It is just what are, in my opinion, the best digital income streams in 2021. So who am I to be telling you where to spend your money and time to be investing in certain digital assets? Well, I have been doing SEO and digital marketing myself and been earning money from it, more importantly, for over 13 years. I became a millionaire at the age of 22 off of digital assets, and I bought my first Bitcoin at $13. But bear in mind that all of this advice is really not just plainly coming from me. I've had some amazing mentors over the years that have taught me and leveled up my game infinitely. And just more than that, I've also sought out some amazing people that I've paid stupid amounts of money to consult with. I am not talking $100 an hour. I'm talking thousands of dollars per hour to be able to speak to some of these folks. So most of this information is based on my own experiences, my own successes, but it's also based on a lot of information and knowledge that I've gained from some amazing mentors and consultations as well. And as well, I want to say that the best folks diversify. They're not just building out and specializing in one specific stream. They're building multiple income streams. That is why Google and Amazon are acquiring companies in different niches and different industries, so that they can diversify their own income streams even more and please their shareholders. Potentially ones that back up each other are even more fantastic. If you can have multiple income streams that kind of overlapping and overcrossing, not so much relying on each other, but helping each other create even more money, then you're going to be in for a massive win. So the number one source in terms of an income stream for me personally and success rate in general, in my opinion, is e-commerce. It's no surprise that the number one richest man in the world is the king of e-commerce himself, Mr. Jeff Bezos. E-commerce has extremely high profit margins, especially if you're manufacturing yourself or if you have amazing deals set up with suppliers and manufacturers. It has the most reach out of basically any income stream out of there, in the fact that almost everybody is buying something online nowadays in basically every country in the world, and it's only growing every year even more. There's also basically almost an infinite amount of verticals that you can go out there to go and sell things. You can sell basically anything online. It's that crazy. There's so many different verticals that you need to really invest your time and research into what is going to be the most profitable and the most successful for you. And in terms of cons, it's also a massive pain in the ass. You have so much stuff to do. You need to be a multi-man machine if you're going to be a one-man e-commerce band, because you're going to have to be doing the research yourself. You're going to be actually handling customer service, which is a huge amount of work in and of itself. You're going to have to be sourcing products, you have to be doing the logistics of shipping, and so much more. It's crazy. And then when people talk about drop shipping, which is not something I'm going to be covering in this video, it's not what they make it out to be. It's not really, in my opinion, as good as a option as it should be, and there is so many hurdles and there's so many problems with it, especially around customer service, refunds, etc. As well as just the fact that a lot of dropshipping companies are scams and they won't pay you out. So sourcing your own products, doing e-commerce yourself, making sure you're even manufacturing yourself, that's the way you're going to become rich off of this source of income. If you're a complete beginner, affiliate marketing is probably going to be the best way you're going to make money online. It's really easy to set up. It has minimal setup costs. If you're young or if you have a limited amount of money, you have $100 to your name, it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to set up an affiliate marketing program and be able to earn money with it. You can earn money in tons of ways. You can do it for free. You could basically sign up for free affiliate programs where you don't have to do anything. They don't have any minimum requirements to enter the affiliate program. And then you can just start tweeting things. You can start posting Facebook. So you could be that annoying guy that DMs people on Facebook a link to buy something that they might be interested in. You could do any number of things to make money through affiliate marketing. The only problem that you're going to have with affiliate marketing and the cons of that is going to be the dodgy programs out there. So make sure you're going to be signing up for the most secure and reliable programs. And it's really easy to get banned. You need to make sure you're reading the terms of service with affiliate marketing programs, because especially things like Amazon have so many little hidden bits of things that you need to make sure that your sites or your links or your promotions are up to scratch with, that they will just ban your account and wipe the last 3 months of earnings. And then just bad payouts. A lot of companies, a lot of affiliate networks will wait months, if not a year, to literally pay you out. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. And some companies just won't pay you out at all because they're gone bust or they won't be monitoring things, which is often just a lie. The next income stream that is probably going to be the highest in terms of making millionaires this year is going to be SaaS, or service or software as a subscription. It has insane sale multipliers right now. Investors are biting at the chop to be able to pick up a SaaS business as much as they can at the moment. It is very, very common for them to go for a monthly net profit multiplier of 60x. That basically means if you have a business making $1,000 a month profit, that you could sell that for $60,000. That is how much it is going for in terms of multipliers right now. Development costs have gone down significantly. There's even software out there which has drag and drop SaaS builders nowadays. It's crazy. There's tons of verticals, and then it's a lot easy. It's very easy to just copy or improve on what competitors have already done out there, because there's so many successful SaaS businesses that have got lazy or just don't simply update their tools, that they are losing clients to just be able to improve what they have already built on. The next one I want to talk about is clients. Now, clients are going to be a very common strategy. So a lot of courses out there about building agencies and about doing clients as a freelancer. A lot of people just doing that as a job and making decent money from it. The retainers are going to be the main thing that you're going to be wanting as a client. Getting clients that are paying $5,000, $10,000 per month. That's really where you're going to be earning really, really high amounts of profit margins. And the fact that it's just a retainer is that kind of model that you're getting monthly income and monthly return in cash. It's really great for cash flow. You also have high employee and consultant yield. It basically means that you're going to get high ROI out of your employees and your consultants if you've set them up to do the right thing. If you have your SOPs down perfectly, you're going to make a ton of money and ton of bang for buck that you spend on your client, on your employees, and your consultants, out of them doing work for your clients. The only cons for these is that it's a massive pain in the ass. Clients are just a massive pain in the ass. You'll have some clients that will call you up at 2 a.m. drunk. It's just insane. Do not ever give clients your personal phone number. Trust me. There's also a high subscription cost for tools, because most agencies require really high level tools, and they tend to be really expensive, with agency subscriptions going into the thousands of dollars per month for these tools. There's a high HR cost. When you have all these employees and consultants and stuff, it costs a lot of money in terms of the payroll and in terms of just dealing with them and maintaining them. Sick days, etc., can cost the business a lot of money. And then you have high churn rate of clients and employees. Making sure that you have a low churn rate for clients is going to be one of the most important things for your longevity of your business. But making sure you have a low churn rate of employees is going to make sure that your clients are not going to leave as well, because they're going to prefer certain employees, etc. There's just generally a massive cost to time, subscriptions, and HR, and dealing with running an agency. So it's not my cup of tea personally, anyway. The next one I want to talk to you about is stocks and the stock market. Now, I personally own stocks in the UK, Canada, China, and of course, America. So I own stocks kind of all over the place, and I try to diversify my portfolio as much as possible. But stocks have been the most consistent long-term saving / investment for me that I've been making, over the last decade or so. It's very easy to access. There's tons of apps out there. Most banks now, you can literally just walk into and ask them to set up an investment portfolio for you. The only problems with stocks and the kind of cons are that there's risky plays are common. Things like options plays and shorting can lose you infinite amounts of money, and then there's a really high barrier of entry to the kind of top end plays. You need a minimum amount of money. I think even in America you need a minimum amount of money to play in a lot of places, and you also need a lot of knowledge of what the stock market means and what certain plays mean and what certain things mean to be able to even carry them out in the first place. And the one you've all been waiting for, it is crypto. So basically, crypto has never, ever before seen ROI for investors. People have literally been seeing 10,000, 40,000% ROIs on some of the altcoins and even Bitcoin from long-term investments. It's never, ever before seen kind of ROIs off investment plays. It's absolutely crazy the amount of millionaires and stuff that it's made. It's also absolutely crazy the amount of people that have lost crazy amounts of money or just not made the amounts of money because they've sold so early. It's a revolutionary technology. It's changed the way we are buying and selling online, literally. I know a lot of people say that, but in my opinion, it has, because of the amounts of money that is going through it right now. The only major cons, in my opinion, are that it has massive electricity costs. So this is bad for people who are in countries that are trying to mine that have high electricity costs in the first place, because it's not efficient and it's not a high ROI. But it's also just bad for the environment. So trying to make sure that we are saving the planet is a good thing in my opinion. And then you've got heavy research time required, just because there is so much high risk, which is the next point. You need to put a serious amount of time into researching who is behind the crypto you're investing, aside of Bitcoin, because you know who it is. And then you also need to be making sure what it is doing, what the development is of the coin, if it's been changed, if there are updates, if there's forks, all of this stuff. And then also just the actual knowledge of it is quite technical, and being able to understand it requires a certain level of technical capability in the first place. Ads and media buys is something people don't even really consider. People think that ads are kind of outdated, but there is a ton of people making an absolute fortune out of ads right now, and there's a lot of technology that is coming out to make it even more in your face, to make sure that you're clicking even more than you are before. With ads, it's really easy to set up. There's a low amount of technical knowledge and research time to be able to actually set it up and know what you're doing. You can basically implement them for any vertical. The only problem is that you actually need a lot of page views to actually make money. So you need a website in the first place. You need page views. You need to be able to get traffic at a reasonable rate. It can't be costing you more than it's actually getting in terms of earnings from the ads and the ad networks. And then some ad networks have a high barrier to entry, so you're going to be needing a minimum of maybe 1 million page views to actually get into some networks in the first place, which are going to be paying the highest rates, and maybe some of your competitors have already got access to, which means that they're going to be earning at a higher rate than you are. And then you've also got ad blockers which can ruin your day, especially in some niches, technical niches, technology niches, computer niches, gaming niches. Ad blockers can really, really hurt the amount of income that you're getting from each website. Now, the next one I'm going to talk to you about is consultancy, and it's something that I'm a massive fan of. It's something that I do a lot. I really enjoy going into a business, seeing what they do, what they're all about, and seeing how I can improve it. And then, of course, seeing the end results and seeing how far they actually get when it comes to the final results from them. So what are the benefits of it? The first one is going to be that international clients can normally pay you a hell of a lot more than you would expect to get on the ground in your own country. As a great example of this, let's say you're a consultant in India, you're very likely to get a lot more money working for a company in Norway than you are on the ground in India. Another benefit is that you can work really low hours for very, very high pay. It's very easy as a consultant to earn $250, $1,000, up to $1,000 per hour, and earning that kind of level for the hours that you're putting in, you can work 5 to 10 hours per week, which is a very low amount of time, and earn a really high wage. The only cons of it are going to be that you're going to have a expert amount of knowledge at something. You'll very quickly find that your limited amount of knowledge will run out in an hour. To be able to speak on a topic and give feedback very quickly, and retrieve information very quickly, and kind of audit things in your head very quickly, requires that level of expert knowledge, and requires an immense amount of knowledge in the first place. You're also going to have to have people and communication skills. Otherwise, you are just not going to you're not going to succeed as a consultant. And then putting value on the hours of your life can be seen as a bad investment long term, in the fact that you're kind of having a deprecating value on the dollar amount of over the time due to inflation, as well as the fact that people just don't like putting a dollar amount of the hours that they have in their life. It's seen as a bad investment. I personally find if you can charge a high amount and earn a good rate, then why the hell not? It's great capital to invest into passive income long term. Another one of my favorite business models is courses and online training in general. You have potentially recurring or really long-term income from this. It's audience building, which if you know anything about marketing, having an audience, especially in the long term, is a massive asset and potentially an asset that is for sale on its own. The profit margins on courses are insane. Unless you're doing a ton of affiliate where you're giving away 50% of the commission of the course, the profit margins are going to be 80-90% every time you launch. The only problems with courses are that it's going to be really hard to sell and grow straight off the bat if you don't have any audience or any trust at all. You need to have some level of trust and some level of hype to be able to actually sell a course in the first place. And when it actually comes to the sales page, you either need to be really good at selling on video or really good at copywriting selling. Next up is social media, and it's almost always free to use, so I would recommend at least trying it out and making sure that you have some kind of a presence online, because it is by far the biggest way to reach your audience and keep on consistently reaching them. You also have a diverse and interconnected amount of platforms in social media, which means, if you have a successful platform on Twitter, it's easy to branch out into other ones like Instagram and TikTok, as an example. The only problems, again, with social media are its really low payouts. Generally, and unless you're doing things like TikTok, even then, it's really low payouts. And the conversions aren't that great unless you, again, have the trust and stuff of your audience. You're going to be having a very low conversion rate on clicks through to your links. And it can take a long time to just organically build up an audience, especially if you're coming from scratch. That grind to the first 1,000 followers is going to be really, really tedious. And if you go ahead and just try and buy them, it's going to really hurt your profiles and your reach in the long term. YouTube, the very platform that we're on right now, and a great example would be maybe this video. YouTube has some massive audience reach. It's very similar to social media, except YouTube actually has the most amount of time spent on app and website out of any website and app in the world. There's basically unlimited verticals. There's people on YouTube for basically everything, obviously to the extremes of what is banned on YouTube. And then it's really easy to research content ideas. There is a ton of people out there that are creating good quality content. It just doesn't get reached that much. So if you can kind of flip the script, copy up some of those content ideas and improve the SEO on those videos, you might get a much bigger reach, much bigger audience than they did. The only problems, again, and the cons with YouTube are the video creation time is a massive amount of time consuming. This video alone, that's probably going to be about 20 minutes long, took me hours and hours to create. The AdSense earnings are going to absolute shit. It was 35% anyway previously on what you were getting. They're looking to lower the amount of AdSense earnings that you're getting, again, unless you're in their preferred partner program, which is really hard to get into, again, with the minimum restrictions. So it's just unsecure, uncertain future around AdSense earnings, and rules in general make it a kind of riskier play to try and put all of your eggs in the YouTube basket. Development and coding is by far the highest barrier to entry out of any of the skills that I've been talking about in this video, but it has a really, really high earning ceiling, which basically means that you have an almost unlimited potential from what you can earn. You can earn $500,000, $1 million a year as a salary, being a really high level development or a developer or coder. It's easier to pick up than ever before. There is so much training out there. There's so much documentation out there. It's gotten easier, and the actual languages themselves have become easier to understand and implement. And then the abilities are transferable. Being able to actually understand and build and code software or websites translates into other income streams and other business models extremely well. The main cons with it, though, are it's going to take a hell of a long time to learn. Most people will not pick up coding in the first few months, let alone even the first year. It takes a couple of years to be able to understand the ins and outs of it. There's also a multitude of languages. Which one's the best one to go down? Personally, in my opinion, if you're going to pick up anything, it's probably going to be Python. There's just a ton of work out there. It's an easier to pick up language, and it's got a ton of development and and a community kind of backing it. And it's kind of versatile in what you can actually apply it to as well. But there's also a massive amount of fierce competition going on, and there's advancements in AI where there's going to be future AI bots and programmers that are actually computers themselves and coded themselves in the first place. People think that web and graphic design have kind of similar barriers to entry that development and coding and programming have. I would say the complete opposite. It's extremely easy in 2021 to be able to build and design graphics and websites. It's all drag and drop nowadays. There's very limited coding that needs to take place in the first place. There's this entire movement of hashtag no code going on. There's massive client potential around both web and graphic design. There's kind of an almost unlimited amount of clients that are needed this work, especially if you're in new and emerging markets. There are going to be so many new clients that need new websites and need new graphics. Again, like development as well, there's transferable abilities. If you can build websites, they transfer to affiliate, great. If you can do the graphics, it translates to YouTube and social media, great. And it's a really low entry cost. Realistically, you can probably get the Adobe suite for $50 a month, and that's all you really need to be able to build websites and new graphic design. Most of the other licensing or products and stuff can actually be taken care of by clients. It's just that initial cost of kind of setting up and being able to do it yourself, to be able to learn it and stuff that it's going to take. But even then, most of these things, if you're looking at building websites, things like Elementor Pro is only $200 a year for an unlimited amount of websites. That's insane. The main cons, though, is going to take some level of talent and skill to be able to actually do design work. I'm a really, really bad designer. I did this slide myself, and I think it does not look anywhere near the level that my designer would have done if I'd tasked him with the job. And again, there's a lot of cheap labor going on, so it's hard to compete versus this cheap labor, and even cheaper clients. Clients are going to be really picky with the amount of things, and make sure they're paying you up front, because a lot of clients will say they'll pay you something, and then when it comes around to it, you'll have to take them to court. And the final kind of skill and income stream that I want to talk about today is copywriting. It's free to learn and it's free to improve on. It's really, really easy to just jump in and start writing some stuff. Obviously, if English is your second language, or even if you want to do it in your own language, it can be difficult to actually understand how to adapt and improve it into a different language than English, just because copywriting is so versed and embedded into English. Just due to that amount of money that is flowing through the English language. Bear in mind that 68% of all assets in cash are kind of transferred through the English language versus any other language. There's also a high earning ceilings. Again, you can earn serious amounts of money just for a 1,000-word piece or 2,000-word piece if you get to be a high-level copywriter. And then there's an abundance of clients or work at the moment. There's so much content needed for websites, for businesses, for e-commerce stores. There's just an abundance of clients and work out there that there's so much available. The main cons again are going to be ML and AI competition in the future. It's just all of these advancements into things where they're making content by itself. Generally, if you go and check out a website like Conversion AI, they've already nearly got it down to a science and down to a T, where they can actually create content automatically. And then there's also the health consequences of copywriting. If you're an actual copywriter, you're going to be writing not 1,000 words a day, you're going to be writing 10,000 words per day, and the amount of toll that takes on your body and your wrists and your hands and everything can be actually quite a lot for some people. And that's it. That's all of the different kinds of streams of income you can build around these skills. I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to like, comment, and subscribe, that would be absolutely fantastic. You can also check me out on Twitter at Charles_SEO. I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/thecharlesfloat, and you can access all of my free and premium training. If you want to learn SEO for free, you can go to charlesfloat.gumroad.com. Peace.